5 years ago today, the Red Cross mobilized a gargantuan effort to provide relief for the victims of Hurricane Katrina. I personally saw hundreds of them work in extremely difficult and sometimes dangerous conditions in New Orleans and Baton Rouge, where thousands lived in a basketball arena there in Baton Rouge for months after the storm. Well, joining us this morning to talk more about that response from the Red Cross is Kate Schlichter. And Kate, you stayed here in Oklahoma. You went to Camp Gruber. 5 years ago, did you have any idea the size of the job in front of you?
Absolutely not. I don't think any of us knew the size of the job in front of us. Here in Tulsa, we actually saw over 2,500 evacuees. We had the people who self-deployed, just threw everything in their cars and came up because they had family, or they just kept on driving until they could find a place to stay. So we had to set up a shelter here locally, and then also handle the 1,500 evacuees that were bussed in from the Superdome to Camp Gruber.
Tell me about, I know there were very, very difficult times in this, obviously. It was a very difficult situation for those people, but I'm sure there were many heartwarming stories that came out of that, probably hundreds of them. Is there something that you remember that you really take away from that storm? Somebody you met, something that you saw?
Sure. There was this man that came off of the bus on the night that the 40 buses came to Camp Gruber. He had on a bow tie, and he looked very dignified, yet he had been on that bus all day. 7 a.m. was the last time they had eaten anything. But yet he stood up with one bag that possessed everything that he owned, and he just came out of that bus and said, thank you so much for everything. I know that we're in a safe and happy place now.
Tell me what you do now and how it's related. Are you still involved with how does your involvement with the Red Cross work? How was that relationship?
Absolutely. I've been with the Red Cross for 12 years, and Katrina was nothing that any of us have ever seen. But now, continuing, I still work with volunteers on a daily basis, getting people prepared. I work with the community members to try to educate them on how to be prepared, how to build a disaster kit, how to make a plan so that we can continue to be prepared when disasters strike.
The learning experience for the Red Cross, I'm sure there's been, it's been 5 years now, and I'm sure there have been a lot of post-mortems, as they say, where you sit down and you talk about what went right and what went wrong. Has the Red Cross changed the way they do business based on what they learned from Katrina?
I think there's always a pre-disaster kind of look and a post-disaster or Katrina look. And yes, we always are looking at things. We can always grow from each and every disaster. But the biggest thing that came out of Katrina, is that we have to continue to educate people on how to be prepared, how to be ready in times of disaster.
Very quickly, if we saw another huge storm developing in the Gulf and it was going to hit, tell me how the Red Cross, how do you activate? I mean, do you get a beeper? Do you... How do you people get together and go where you need to go?
Well, we have a great national system. We are a national organization with local chapters and local volunteers, but we all work together in times of large disaster. So yes, we get updates, we prepare, we stage things when we know it's going to hit our area, and we just utilize our volunteers and get everybody prepared.
Kate Schlichter with the Tulsa Red Cross. We appreciate it. Let's hope there's never another Katrina.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you for your time this morning.